Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my new and improved machine gun Spriggan, which again is a huge upgrade over my old iteration. If you're sick of minions, if you want to play a build that can push corruption currently at 250 and doing great with literally no items required, this is going to be the build for you. As always, I will cover every single facet of this build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now, the skills I'm using for this machine gun Spriggan are Maelstrom, Entangling Roots, Summon Spriggan, Spriggan Form, and Summon Thorn Totem. Now, how you're going to use the build is pretty simple. You can make 6 healing totems that are going to shoot and shred armor for you and obviously keep you alive. And when you shoot, you are going to make these little spirits around you, your little veil spirits. And when they reach max charge, which is 4, you are going to trigger your Entangling Roots. Pretty easy. Let's take it for a spin. Now, when I was talking about earlier wow, look at that right off the bat. What you could do with this build, right now it is doing very, very well with very limited gear. Like, this build can be so much better if you have better gear than I do. Now, obviously, this is a cold build, and obviously the more you shoot, the more stacks of Maelstrom you will build. And it's really easy to build Maelstrom stacks when you are fighting bosses because you are continuously shooting. And once you get those 6 stacks, you will run very, very fast. And as you can see, everything is just getting chilled or frozen and just dies. I don't even know if my life has moved yet. It's also really easy to stay in permanent Spriggan form. Every time you crit, which is going to be over 50% of the time, you will get back a little bit of rage. See, you don't always have to have full minions. We could mix it up a little bit. I'm really starting to fall in love with Spriggan. By the way, big shout out to Quiet, who is a last Epoch content creator. I've been working with him on this build and asking him questions. And the reason why it's in the state that it's in is because of his expertise on this class. So big shout out to Quiet. Thank you, thank you. But as you can see, pretty darn easy. Let's fight a Corruption 250 Shade of Orbis. All right, let's do it. Jump out of here, Shade of Orbis. This is actually Corruption 247. 247. Miss me. So pretty simple. Keep your Spriggan alive, healing totems, and shoot him. Miss me.
Why do you resist?
Why do I resist? Don't stand in his poison. This build is... I also feel like this build is only going to get stronger. They keep teasing about a movement skill coming to Spriggan, which will be great. And there's nothing overly broken in this build, so it's not like it's going to be nerfed. Just die. Oh, that was your last chance to get me. Shade of Orbis, Corruption 247. You, sir, are dead. Let me show you how to recreate this build. So now let's check out the skills for this machine gun Spriggan, and I'm going to show you the route that I went. So take them in this order. You want 1 into Rose Meadow, 2 into Nightshade, 1 into Ice Branch. This is going to turn you into a cold Spriggan. You then want to keep going right, 1 into Ancestral Call, 3 into Spirit Vortex. This is what's going to proc your Maelstrom. Then you want 3 into Spirit Whisperer and 1 into Veil Tide. This is what's going to trigger Entangling Roots. Then you want to come down here, 4 into Totem Warden, 1 into Spike Totems, and 1 into Unbound Garden. This is what's going to make it where you cast 3 totems at a time, and it takes your Thorn totem tree. And then lastly, you want to put all your points into Iron Bark. It saddens me that I only have 20 points into Spriggan right now, because those extra 3 points would go right here to make you even tougher. Moving over to Entangling Roots, and this one I played with quite a bit. You want to go up first. 4 into Shredded Vines, 1 into Nourishment Surge, 2 into Wild Weapons, 5 into Blooming Magic. And this ally buff plus 40 to spell damage does go on you. Okay, so it will make you stronger when Entangling Roots procs. You then want to come right, 1 into Winternid Thorns. Then you want 3 into Thick Growth, and then you want to come down here, 1 into Entrapped, and 3 into Reclamation, which is going to give you some leech every single time it goes off. Moving over to Maelstrom, you want to go up first to get your Frenzy and your Haste. You want 4 into Whirlpool, 1 into Turbulence, 2 into Calm, 1 into Windswept, 1 into Wind Fury. You then want to come right and get 3 into Sleet Footed, which is going to give you dodge. And it's easy to get 30% dodge on this build as long as you maintain your Maelstrom stacks. You then want 2 into Arctic Chill, give you some chill chance, and then 3 into Healing Winds. This is going to give you healing based upon your stacks. And then last 3 points into Turmoil. And these 3 points, you could literally put them wherever you want. If you want to proc some Lightning Blasts, if you want to bring down mana costs or do more damage with Maelstrom, these 3 you could put wherever you want. Moving over to Summon Spriggan. All right, this is what you want. You want to come down first. 3 into Aura of Life, 3 into Aura Kingship, 4 into Aura of Retribution, 1 into Aura of Loyalty, 1 into Aura of Evasion. Then come down here, 1 into Floral Ascendance, 1 into Branches of Winter, because we want it cold. Then you want 5 into Vitality and 1 into Warding Bark. If you don't care about your Spriggan being cold, I like it cold because I am cold. You could take these 2 points out right here and just put it into Bark to make it more tanky if your Spriggan is always dying. Last but not least, Summon Thorn Totem. Man, I played with this so many different ways, but I like it in this current configuration. You want to go up first. 1 into Totemic Wisdom, 1 into Memories of Atera, and 3 into Forced Expanse. This is going to make it where you can make exactly 6 totems. 1 into Ancient Power, 2 into Impale, 5 into Shred Armor. Every single time a little spike hits an enemy, it is going to put 1 armor shred stack on them. 2 into Wing Thorns, and 3 into Frenetic Entombment. This is going to make it where they cast Thorns more frequently, which means more stacks of armor shred. Those are the skills. Moving over to the passive tree, and I forgot to mention we are currently level 100. Yes, we are a maxed out druid. So looking at the Primalist base class, you want 8 into Natural Attunement, 1 into Primal Strength, 5 in Hunter's Restoration, and 6 into Wisdom of the Wild. That's it. Unless later on you want to do dual wielding, then take this point and put it right here into Harmony of Blades. Moving over to Druid, you want 5 into Spirit Warden, 5 into Primordial Resonance, 1 into Blessed Springs, 5 into Druistic Prowess, 2 into Focus Wrath, 7 into River of Spirits, 3 into Wind of the Leaves, 3 into Bush Stalker. This is going to give you some health on crit. 8 into Aspect of Might, because this is going to give you a huge boost to your armor, which is going to give you survivability. 1 into Woodland Beings, 1 into Natural Duality. You need this to keep your Spriggan alive. 8 into Rageborn. This is going to be, once you get 8 points in here, this is where you'll basically be always in Spriggan form. And then 8 into Hideskin, which gives you tons of survivability. Again, I've played with this a lot. This is my favorite configuration. I then come over to Beastmaster. You want 8 into Yersin Strength, 4 into Boarheart, 3 into Call of the Pack, and 5 into Porcupine Constitution. This is going to give you Aspect of the Boar, which is also going to give you a lot of survivability. And your last 14 points, 8 into Shamanistic Infusion, 1 into Silent Protector, and 5 into Totemic Fury, which is going to give you 25% cast speed when you have your totems up. That is why you want your totems up and you want 6 stacks of Maelstrom, because then you're going to shoot so much quicker. That is the passives. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with idols. And again, second time saying it, check out the advanced build planner if you want to see what is truly possible with this build. Okay, idols. There's a couple things you want to look for. Increase spell damage if you have a totem. That is a good modifier. Increase spell damage while transformed. Also a good modifier. And then the last one, cold damage. And this would be exactly the kind of idol you would want to see. This rolled with spell damage and cold damage, and towards the higher end rolls, it would be awesome if you could find 4 of these, which I haven't. I've literally only found 1, and all the other ones only have 1 of the 2. Okay, so that's what you're looking for as far as idols. And there's a couple other, like you could find some life idols and totem health, but that's not as good. The other ones I just filled in with some resistances that I need. Okay, these are the target idols. Now, moving over to gear, like I said, there is nothing required for this build. I'm going to go through each item one at a time. Helmet. And here, crit strike multiplier while transformed, cold damage. Amulet, cold spell. Armor, attunement, increased spell damage while transformed, life. And this is the base you absolutely want to get, because this rolls with a +6 to 14 spell damage. Very important base. We are using a staff. Now, when it comes to weapon, you can use a staff. You could use a wand or a scepter with a shield, or you can dual wield with a sword that's plus the spell or an axe. Okay, so lots of options when it comes to your weapon. This one I just happened to get that had increased cold, spell, freeze rate, chill chance, and I was able to seal 112% spell crit chance. This is a pretty good staff that I found. So that's why we're using it. Ring, cold and elemental. Belt, cold, life. Ring, attunement, cold. Critical strike multiplier. Attunement on the relic, and this gives us a 23% chance to cast Maelstrom every 5 seconds, and has base cold. This is the base you want to find. Helps keep your Maelstrom stacks up as well. Boots, movement speed. You really want to get as much movement speed as you can on this build, since it does not have a movement ability. And then gloves. Now these gloves, attunement, armor shred, and hybrid health are great. But what would be awesome is if that melee attack speed, which is a waste, had cast speed. You could get cast speed base and then get cast speed on your gloves. That would make a huge addition to my current build. Get as much cast speed as you can. That is the gear. Now let's check out the stats for this machine gun Spriggan. Like I said earlier, we are level 100. Strength is currently 25 points, attunement 61, vitality 14. Movement speed is 47%, which is great, but this goes much higher based upon what is happening. So once we get our Maelstrom stacks up, you will see that go to 77%. And then once we go into Spriggan Form, you'll actually be at 87. So you will be moving very quick as long as you can keep Maelstrom up and stay in Spriggan Form. Now looking at resistances, fire, lightning, cold, physical, kinda necrotic, and void feel good. The one I really need is poison resistance. Armor right now is at 37%, 2000. This can be easily scaled if I put armor on my boots or had those extra points into the Spriggan tree. You really want to get your armor right around 50%. Now, when we are boosting up our Maelstrom stacks, which I am now out, but you will see that every single time you have a Maelstrom stack, your dodge is going to go up. So it is also going to help keep you alive. Now, when you are looking at your spell critical strike chance, 50%, every other hit will be a crit. And then over here, your increased cold damage is 929. So again, we do really good damage, and you can scale this so much better if you have top-notch gear. Other defenses, endurance is at 60, endurance threshold is at 1000, and crit avoidance is at 140. So you're going to have your resistances, you're going to have your armor, you're going to have your dodge, you're going to have your endurance, you're going to have your endurance threshold, you're going to have your crit avoidance. And on top of that, this build is really easy to get over 3000 life. And you could run a Bastion of Honor if you really wanted for extra survivability. Very tanky Spriggan. Now let's talk about sustain. How are you going to be able to push high corruption with this build and keep your life full? Well, you have many ways. Now, obviously during the stats breakdown, I just showcased all the different survivability mechanics, and I didn't even mention you are going to have aspect of the boar as well. So it is very tanky, but you have some other stuff going for you as well. Now, right at the beginning, Hunter's Restoration is going to give you back 40 health every 3 seconds. And I know that is really small, but that's what you're going to get right off the bat as you are leveling up this build. Under Druid, right here, every time you crit, you're going to get back 4% of your life. And remember that this build is going to be critting every other hit. So this is going to be a huge part of your sustain. On top of that, inside of your skills, in Entangling Roots, which is going to be going off all the time, this is going to get you back 6% health leech. So this is going to leech life back to you. On top of that, inside of Maelstrom, right here, Healing Winds, you are going to get 6 health every second based upon your stacks. So if you have 10 stacks of Maelstrom, that means you're going to be getting 60 health back every single second. On top of that, if you needed a little extra sustain, which we always do, you can come right over here to the Black Sun and you can get the Blessing Grand Hunger of the Void. And I got a terrible roll and I keep getting a terrible roll. This can be 3.1 up to 5%. And this is spell damage leached as health. Once you have all these different sustain mechanics with all these other survivability mechanics, you're going to be able to push high corruption. Aaron, this sounds great, but how do I level up this druid? I'm level 1. How do I turn it into this machine gun monster? Well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to use the same 3 skills I use for every single druid I level up, or really any primalist I ever level up. The first skill you want to take is swipe right here. And what you want to do is you want to go left and take these 3 nodes: Way of the Hunt, Reach, and Culling, which is going to give you a kill threshold very early on. The second skill that you want to take is War Cry, and you want to go up first and take Deep Roar and Battle Cry. Then you want to come down here and get Berserker, okay, which is basically going to buff your swipe so you hit really hard and really fast. The last skill that you need, because you have to traverse the campaign and you want to traverse it as fast as humanly possible, is Leap. And when you take Leap, you want to go up first and take Crater. Then you want to take Savage Impact. Then you want to take Aspect of the Mantis, which is going to allow you to leap more often. And then come right here and take Panther Strike, which is going to further allow you to use Leap most or more often. With these 3 skills, Fury Leap, Swipe, and War Cry, you will be able to get through the entire campaign. And if you're just messing around trying to figure out what to do, you could also take as a 4th skill, Summon Bear. And when you take Summon Bear, you can come right over here and grab this node, Forceful Swipes. And now your bear is going to use your swipes. And obviously you don't have to do anything. It's just going to run around and follow you. With those skills, you will fly through the campaign. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new and improved machine gun Spriggan? Is there something I missed? Is there something I could do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. It really does help as we move through 2023, but only if you think I deserve it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 65 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. We have a weekly 1-hour bonus to our podcast every single Wednesday night. By the way, the Lore Master will be with us tomorrow for This Week in Action. Should be a really good stream. You'll be able to join my VIP in Discord so we could chit chat every single week. You have a chance to win custom merch on our wheel spin giveaway. You get a special Discord title, and you have the ability to live stream, whether audio and video, with me while I go live on Twitch. Lots of goodies. First link in the description. And if this build isn't for you, there's over 18 viable build guides in the description as well. That's all I've got. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.